that's it. We just want to win for our team.
My goodness! And everyone finishes it!
Yeah, we're just as good as the men. We're better.
It's a huge point for the Bay Area.
Good chance that's the #1 highlight of the week.
Alrighty, welcome back for session number 2. We're coming to you live from Everett, Washington, USA. You're watching Major League Table Tennis, and it is week number 11, day number 2, second session for MLTT. And we've got some teams that I know you're excited to see. Are you guys ready for the action? Alrighty, well that makes many of us because so am I. Let's welcome the officials, Jerry Lee and Mei Wong. Everybody's good? Just testing the facility here, making sure the barriers are strong, and so far so good. So the first team to enter the arena is number 3 in the West Division. They've got 163 points. Put your hands together. A warm welcome for Texas Smash. And their opponents are number 4 in the West Division right now. But I bet they're gonna feel some love in just a moment, accompanied by the local Washington mascots, Paolo and Webley. Get on your feet, get up, and make some noise for your very own Seattle Spinners! Alrighty, before we get into the action, we've got a very special presentation for you, so I hand the mic to the commish, Flint Lane.
Greetings, Everett. My name is Flint Lane. I'm the commissioner of Major League Table Tennis. I'm very excited. I get to do a ceremonial first ball with a legend in the game. Anybody have a USATT number? Raise your hand if you play USA Table Tennis. How many people have a 4-digit USATT number? You do? Wow, mine is like 9 digits, dude. We have a legend in the game. Please give it up for Howard Grossman. Howard is part of the Carl Gibson Center, and they've been super generous to Major League Table Tennis, lending us a table for a TV show that we did, welcoming some of our players, welcoming some of our staff. So on behalf of Major League Table Tennis, thank you, Howard. Thank you to your entire center.
Awesome, Howard Grossman on the table with the commish, Flint Lane. Flint dirties up the ball first, rubs some snot or something on it. See, no control left. He tried to touch it, it flew off. Okay, time for the Howard Grossman serve. Short pips on the forehand, ante on the backhand. Flint Lane behind the table, a lob. Will it come down? Oh, so close. A golden point on the first ever. There it was, Howard Grossman, champion over Flint Lane. There you have it. Good night, everybody.
Well, a great first ball there from Howard Grossman. And we're ready for the second match of Saturday night here at Angel of the Winds Arena in Everett, Washington. It's between the Texas Smash and the Seattle Spinners. A great hometown welcome for Seattle. There's more spectators out here. They have signs, they're cheering, they're really giving energy to Seattle, and they need it. After yesterday's performance, they really need it. They've ended up at the bottom of the table with 158 points. Not too far out of contention, obviously. A couple of good performances here and tomorrow could really make the difference. But right now, the Bay Area Blasters have crept up into first place. I'm Matt Hetherington. I'm joined by Sean O'Neill in the commentary booth. Sean, Texas and Portland played phenomenally, and I think as a team, they've grown together over the course of the season. Seattle Spinners, obviously they've had weekends where they've won all 3 of the matches. How do you feel having seen both teams yesterday? I mean, obviously, Seattle yesterday was a little flat. Hopefully we see more from them, but looking at the team players in general and the lineup so far, what do you think we should expect from this match?
I think it's anyone's game right now. I think Texas, without their head coach, who's dialing in through FaceTime, and then you've got Seattle, who right now, Nikhil Kumar is not playing in this match. He's a little under the weather. He's been traveling from the World Championships in Busan, South Korea. So it's really going to be who can come out of the gate strong and hard and really just have that momentum going into the Golden Game.
Yeah, I mean, Portland certainly showed that in their recent match. They came out of the gates about as strongly as you could possibly imagine. We look at the lineups here, and Kasahara has kind of taken the mantle of team leadership, obviously with Jorg not here, with Dave Macbeth expecting a child. He wasn't able to make it as well. Kasahara played great in the match yesterday. Right now he's going to come up against Olajide Omatayo. We've got a youth matchup between Daryl and Andrew, Rebetez and Paul Chi. A tough doubles combination there. And then, of course, we rounded out with Nandan Naresh and Johan Hagberg. What stands out to you if you look at these lineups, Sean?
Well, I think the very first match with Kasahara and Omataro is going to set the stage, but that singles match number 3 with the youngsters kind of lean a little bit more towards Andrew Sao, but the singles match 4, Nandan Naresh, great play yesterday against Cole, gave him a lot to think about. Johan Hagberg would love to get back into the interview booth with us. You know, he would love to get his game going. He takes big shots, so I think the doubles will definitely play a role. But I mean, I think starting out with this singles match between Kasahara and Omataro.
Yeah, it's certainly going to be a big start here. I mean, these are both players that are pretty experienced, very technically skilled. The competition format, 4 singles and a doubles, as you just saw. The games, the matches are 3 games to 11. And then that leads into the Golden Game. 15 points on offer in those first 5 matches. And depending on the score lead going into the Golden Game, a team can have up to 5 points lead. The Golden Game's worth 6 points, each individual game worth 1 point. And as you saw before we led into the stream, the standings are determined by points, not by overall team wins. So you're going to see players fighting for every individual game here, because the points are what are going to make the difference, with the top 2 teams from the West and the top 2 teams from the East qualifying for the championship playoff in Chicago at the end of April.
And I wouldn't say that the 11th ranking and the 28th mean as much, just because Omatayo is so strong. He can do literally winning shots from anywhere on the court. But yesterday, quite flat after being up 10-3 in that match. And here you're seeing the FaceTime link up from Germany for the Texas Smash, as Jorg Bitzigayo is here with his remote link up.
Now, if we look at the standings, Kasahara, 11th position on the standings. We're going to look at the team standings first, though. You can see them on screen. Bay Area Blasters 181, still at the top. And the Seattle Spinners have got some ground to make up. Both teams with a big opportunity here. As I said, Kasahara 11th on the MLTT standings, 25 and 11 in singles. Around 70% success rate in the singles. He's 45 and 45 in the Golden Game. So split in the Golden Game. If we take a look at Olajide Omatayo, he's 10 and 17 singles, which is a bit lower than you would expect, but 32 and 28, so positive in the Golden Game.
And then also in the
and then
doubles as well.
Yeah, 15 and 12 in the doubles. Fabiola Diaz. Kasahara 8 and 13 in doubles, so some mixed stats here from both of them. Kasahara certainly a player that's had a better run in the singles. Kasahara probably more vocal than we've seen him.
Yeah, no, he's
early
come
on
out.
here. Yeah. Yeah, again, I think it's a reflection of him kind of assuming that leadership role and being a role model for the team. It's really the most pumped up we've seen Kasahara.
I was a little surprised yesterday when he was playing his singles, and we are doing the remote link with Coach Jorg, is that during his singles play, it almost seemed like he wasn't even sure what was going on there, and he just put his head down and just started focusing on what he needed to do. And then in the doubles match, same thing. He just spoke directly to Amy Wong. They played extremely strong.
That's a big rally. First game of the first match. And Omatayo is delivering something special. Now, these two have met once before, back in November in Pleasanton. It was Kasahara who came out on top. 2-1. He lost the first game 11-10, so golden point decided the first game. Then 11-4, 11-6, pretty comfortable through the second and third. I think there's a contrast of ideas here about how players approach playing each other multiple times. I mean, you could kind of look at the format of Major League. You have West Coast teams playing each other each weekend, each round. So they play the same teams each round. And they play all of the teams each round. So you can say, okay, the teams are playing against each other a lot. Maybe it makes them more familiar with each other. And it makes it a little bit easier for the players. But then at the same time, because they're playing each other so often, we've seen big swings in tactical adaptations. And players have gone back and watched their matches that they've lost the first time. And they've come back and completely turned the tables. I think Isaac Vila, perfect example, to go from 0-3 with Nishant Labaka and then come here and win 3-0. Complete opposite, complete sweep.
Yeah, no, we've seen the streakiness of the sport, and of course, table tennis is a sport of adjustments. You can't keep doing the same tactic over and over and expect it to win as the opponent makes small adjustments. And these players are having their matches count for USA table tennis ratings, and that will move them up within the ability for a coach to put them in the 1-2 or the 3-4 position. They have to follow that ranking order once the team is set. So still some variation within the 1-2 and the 3-4. And again, in the golden game, anyone can play anyone.
Yeah, I think one of the things that has actually kind of impacted teams a lot is the strength of their third singles player. Because there have been a lot of occasions, for example, with Bay Area where, you know, Marjin Bao wasn't able to play at the start of the season because he was in China. And having Lachine, having such an experienced third player able to show up for the team really made a big difference. So I think with Texas, you take Macbeth out of the equation and you have Nandan Naresh stepping up into the AB. I think it's a little bit more favorable for them than Nikhil sitting out. And then, you know, they're bringing up Andrew and Jay. Obviously, solid players, but I think Nandan probably has a higher potential top level to play against other AB players.
And look at the difference in energy level for Omatayo today compared to yesterday when he was up 10-3.
So Chide did put his hand up straight away there to call a let.
So the one challenge is Omatayo raised his hand, but he put it in the net. So it's tough for him to say if the umpire doesn't believe it hit the net or hit a shirt or anything.
So Kasahara is saying that Omatayo raised his hand because he claimed that the ball touched the shirt of Kasahara, not that it touched the net. So Kasahara is saying whether you raised your hand or not, the ball didn't touch my shirt. So we're seeing that in slow motion. Definitely didn't touch the shirt. Omatayo was indicating that the ball touched his shirt during the serve, which is, it's not very common for that to happen. Kasahara with a very defiant.
Here comes the yellow card.
So game number 1, the Texas Smash. Interesting, awkward time.
Seattle Spinners fans looking a little bit quiet out there, wondering what's going on. I think it's very, very unusual for a ball to make contact with a player's shirt during a serve.
If you don't have an umpire, players will just sort of say, okay.
Yeah, that's an interesting situation. I mean, Omatayo did put his hand up straight away.
There was a difference of opinion. Olajide thought the ball hit Ito's shirts.
Number of players I've coached, I've always said, you can lift your hand up, calling the let, but you better put it into play and hope the opponent catches the ball.
Yeah, don't be
and
the
at that
one.
point, you've got the upper hand in case there's any decision with the umpire, because they're going to be like, well, you caught the ball, so that's on you.
Right.
But the frustration level on Omatayo afterwards, hitting the ball out of the court into the practice area and then getting a yellow card directly is not the way you want to start that first game after you've come off of a very tough loss to the Blasters.
Yeah, I just don't see that there's any way that that ball could have touched his shirt. It looked like a pretty clean serve contact to me. I mean, obviously Jide's down there on the court.
Right, and look at the difference today. Kasahara having the exchange with Coach Jorg, getting that back and forth, making sure that coaching and...
There's another look from an angle closer to Jide. Well, that's not going to help. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Sean. You've got to put the ball into play. Don't dump the ball in the net. You can't leave those things to chance.
And just remember, the players aren't calling those shots when you have two umpires here. If you're playing without an umpire, obviously that you will. But
you know what? The best thing that can come out of this, if Jide gets fired up, it will be the best thing for the team and for him and for the spectators.
And
so Jide seems to be indicating that the ball touched his shirt again. It's a strange claim. Very...
I mean, it definitely could be where it's getting hidden a little bit.
But he's saying that the ball made contact with the shirt. Which, you know, if you're hitting a ball directly at somebody's body, it can happen.
But he's definitely upped his swing rate. I mean, he's taking more powerful shots as if to send a message like, I'm going to just power through you. That serve went quite long.
Kasahara fires back.
1-3.
Now Kasahara's fired up. So both players now completely ready to go toe-to-toe. That's a good drop shot there. Omatayo has an excellent over-the-table loop. Really keeps that racket high and just powers through the ball.
Omatayo's really pumping himself up, and I know Seattle Spinners have had some meetings as a team and had some discussions about trying to bring the energy up. And we're definitely seeing the results of that out there tonight. Omatayo is really bringing his level up.
Both players are so fast with their attacks. Not a lot of hesitation.
Jide he had a chance to put that ball away, but kind of pulled away from it. You can see there Angela Guan from Princeton Revolution. She's based here in Seattle. Rachel Sung, and then Crystal Wong, the former U.S. national team member, also living here in Seattle. They've come out here for the game. There you go, you can see them again. Rachel Sung, not necessarily stoked to be on camera, but
So Seattle, 1 point away from evening up this match.
wow, that altercation seemed to be just the firepower that Jide needed to lift his game. 11-5 in the second. He was much more aggressive. Jide Omatayo tying things up here at 1 game each. Big vocal energy from both players.
Well, it looks like it's both players beginning to take it personal. Neither one wanting to really admit what happened or if they were taking advantage of a bad call. It looks like the Spinners crowd is getting ready to roll, and Jide Omatayo bringing his team 1 point closer.
Yeah.
Overall points battle.
Well, remember when we started the weekend, there was only 11 points of separation between the top team and the bottom team. So that's grown quite a bit.
I thought she had called a fault. I think she was just
Players are eager to get started there. The umpires
put the ball into play before the scorecards had flipped over to start the game.
It's a big point from both players. Kasahara comes out with the point.
Just full swings by both players, leaving the table, showing tremendous power. And that time a very nice deep return. Kasahara taking the first 2 points on Omatayo's serve.
Kasahara looks pretty determined here. So quick, once he gets onto his forehand.
Just a very short stroke, but so explosive.
Yeah. First 4 points of this third game going to Texas Smash player. Good recovery on the net ball, but not able to get himself out of the next shot. There's head referee And Hogshead in the background. It's been great also to have some ball kids here.
Yep, they've done a great job keeping the action flowing. Oh, what a great over-the-table backhand banana return, finding the forehand open court. Both players love to step around their backhand corner, which leaves the forehand open. And there was a step around there by Omataya that almost took out the towel box.
They switch ends at 5-3. Next up, Joan Rebetez from Switzerland takes on Paul Chi from Canada.
And you can see from this angle when the players do step around, trying to get their forehand in that backhand corner, that they are leaving the door wide open to a cross-court shot.
Big backhand from Omataya. Well within striking range here, just 2 points behind. Quick counters from Kasahara, and he's getting louder and more pumped out there.
These players are so fast on their feet, stepping around the corner to keep that forehand going. Very strong serve, nice and short, a lot of spin.
Kasahara pushing ahead here. Gets the last 3 in a row.
Nice deep serve there by Omataya.
And that'll do it. Hiromitsu Kasahara takes 2 games out of 3. 11-9, 5-11, and 11-5. A big effort from Omataya to fight back in the second game. Kind of trailed away in the second half of the third, I felt. Kasahara was able to capitalize off that. He stayed energetic, he stayed vocal, and got the result in the end. Texas smashed 2-1 now in the lead.
Very strong start for Texas. I have a feeling going into the remaining singles, the order favors them, but we're going to get a chance to speak with Kasahara.
Well, Hiromitsu Kasahara, a very intense match to start out. The first thing I wanted to ask you is, you know, Jorg he's not here. Dave Beth, he's also not here. Do you feel a little bit of responsibility to be a role model and to be more of a leader for the team? Because it seems you're fighting harder and you're more vocal out there.
Yes, coach and Dave not here. Maybe little more pressure for me. So I played now 2 days. Last day, today also not good, not bad. But I just we need a point.
Yes,
So
yes.
just focus my match.
So how tough was it with the little issue on the serve and the let? Were you able to refocus easy? Because in game 2, it seemed like everything changed.
Yeah, difficult. The last match to Orange, they also have problem net, no net, but I think umpire decided, and if I service put my shot, I say, but he only said this, but I don't net, I think net, but
Right.
not.
Yeah, serve
Yeah,
the shot.
so he only say I put
Yeah.
shot, so I no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, a great effort from you to win 2 games out of the 3. Congratulations, and we'll see you in the doubles
Thank you.
soon.
I think, Matt, this is really true, is that right now without David Macbeth here, that Kazuhara does need to take a bigger leadership role, especially with the young ages of Nishant, Amy, Nandan, and
Yeah.
Daryl.
Yeah.
It is such a young team.
So Joan Rebetez, 26th on the standings, had a phenomenal weekend in Portland. There's his parents. They've come all the way from Switzerland to be here, sitting next to Flint Lane, Commissioner of Major League Table Tennis. And of course you have Paul Chi, who I think drove here from Richmond, British Columbia, so down from Canada. And, you know, he had a great performance yesterday against a difficult opponent for him. He came up against Lasheen El-Sayed from the Bay Area Blasters. Very experienced, lots of variation. A little surprising to me, he managed to come out and win the 3rd game with the golden point, but was able to really stay focused. I think the serve receive is going to be important for him here. Rebetez's serve variations are pretty tough. He spends a lot of time during the team practices practicing all of his different serve variations.
And what Rebetez does so well is he knows where the next ball is going to be coming back off of his serve. And he's able to put maximum force on that 3rd ball attack. Paul has really nice technique. I just don't know if he's seen as many different serves and just the creativity that Johan's able to deliver, whether it's attacking on both forehand and backhand at different locations. I mean, that's a beautiful backhand loop off the bounce.
Rebetez 20 and 13 in singles, 60%. 33 and 45 in the golden game. Paul Chi's played 1 double. He's 2 and 1 in doubles. He's played 1 doubles match. He's 9 and 13 in golden game, which is not too bad if you take his singles record, which is much more out of his favor, into account. So.
And it's those type of rallies for Rebetez is just so strong. He makes the first loop. He just keeps adding more and more behind the ball. Great placement. And is rewarded with a strong 5-1 lead here in game 1. And that's what Paul Chi needs to do. Aggressive on the serve, and then just go heavy spin.
Yeah, and I think that made the big difference between his match with Lasheen, between the first 2 games and then the 3rd game. Stepping up the aggression, putting some pressure behind his ball.
Almost seemed like the first 2 games he was like surveying and waiting to see what was going to happen. And you can't do that with Lasheen. He's got too many tricks and too much power to just let him take the first opening loop or even a swing.
Yeah, got to be decisive. I think one of the important things when you play against high-level opponents is you can't wait for an opportunity to win a point.
You have to try to create.
You have to create those opportunities. And then when you have created them, you need to make sure that you win them.
Yeah, you can't let balls hang above the table. You've got to execute. And right now, Rebetez with such strong serves. Both players having a little bit of difficulty finishing the ball quickly.
Big backhand from Paul. We need to see more of that from him. You hear the bench of the Seattle Spinners getting behind him. The energy today is worlds away from what we saw yesterday. That's a big point again. Paul Qi going on the offensive out here in game one.
When he takes his forehand cross court and doesn't hesitate, that's a bomb. He really drives the ball well. Again, back-to-back, very strong plays out to the forehand side. Great technique with his body going through the ball, completely driving everything.
What a counter. This is a totally different player than what we saw yesterday. You know, on the occasions that we've seen him play, we have not seen this level of offense from him.
Look at that, just the entire Seattle bench. They haven't seen it either. It's almost like somebody told Paul, you're allowed to go offensive on the first ball instead of playing safe.
Good to see Paul out there running some laps in the absence of his teammate, Adi Sereno. There was a big chance for Paul to
a high
find
ball.
Being 10-7 would have been significantly better position than being 8-9.
And he got away with some really nice blocks there. Rebetez went for the big shot.
Yeah, you almost wonder if Paul did it on purpose to kind of lull him in and say, take a swing.
Took a lot of pace off the ball.
10-8.
Paul with the serve. Seattle would love to even up this match.
Oh, a little bit tentative there on the back and opening.
Almost looked like he was going for a no-spin opening, just carrying it up and over.
He doesn't want to get into a golden point situation where Rebetez gets the serve back.
There's just too many options for Rebetez off of his serve.
And Paul Qi takes game one. Seattle are on their feet for it. Big smiles on the bench. Just when you think you've seen it all, Sean, you haven't. Paul Qi, game one, 11 points to 9. We're tied up again, 2 points for each team. How's that for an outfit, Sean? Look at that chain. Go Spinners.
Looks like Flavor Flav with the big spinner medallion.
Some funky flavor out there. There's Commissioner Flint Lane pointing at something over in the distance. Not us. We're off the hook.
Hopefully not.
Off the hook and off the chain.
But Paul Qi.
Yeah, speaking of off the chain.
Wow. What a first game. Almost day and night from the amount of offense he delivered in the second half of that game.
Now it's a question
And
of
he's continuing
sustainability.
to get
Look
on
at the energy.
his Audi cycle and run around the court. That was a double-fisted Cho.
Rebetez with a big serve return.
I just think we're going to see these two players continue to go toe-to-toe with big shots and big serves.
I think Rebetez, you know, he spins the first ball in. If he can get the soft block from Paul, just convert the next shot. Don't go for like something huge. He just needs to put the pressure back on him. I think we saw from Lachine in the match yesterday, when you apply pressure from variations and from spin, then it starts to cause him more problems. He's not able to have that confidence to attack all the time. Good set up from the serve. Regardless of the result, I would just love to see Paul keep that energy.
Exactly.
I want to see him keep fighting for it.
Again, that ball looked like it hit the edge.
Touch the back edge. Well, she says it didn't touch. Very hard to see on the replay.
From the angle that we're sitting at, it almost sounded and looked like
Sounded, yeah. Tough to call though, especially for the umpires who are sitting on the sides of the table.
And those are the points that Rebetez has to make. High ball on the forehand. He's worked the point. All he has to do is finish it. And just missing it off the side by a couple inches. A double drop shot.
As if the first drop wasn't good enough already. The second one, double bounce.
Great timing.
Rebetez 5-3 in the lead. He needs to do more. He needs to get comfortable and push ahead.
What a great over-the-table flip kill. Paul Chi just continuing his offensive onslaught, trailing by 1 here in game 2. Smart play by Rebetez. Got that quick backhand opening, negating the serve.
Rebetez just content to stay at a kind of 60% backhand roll.
Rebetez getting an easy ball to start his offense with. Paul just putting it into play. He's going to need to do a lot more in order to take the service advantage away. Oh, overswing. Lucky break for the smash.
He's still going for his shots, but Rebetez starting to open up some more tactical advantages here in the second. And a couple of very goods. He takes it 11-4. Standings on screen there. Texas smash, pushing towards that second position in the table. 13 points behind. They would need to have a pretty good effort in a Golden Game win here to be able to get themselves level and on par with the Portland Paddlers. Paul Qi out here getting started straight from the first point in game 3. Rebetez fighting. It's a testament to Paul. On the receive.
Oh, what
There's the big backhand.
backhand off the table, but still off the bounce. So much pressure and power.
Rebetez gets the serve back. 3-1 here in the third game. Qi backed off the table. It's not a place that he wants to be.
Both players quite tall, and any loose balls, especially the higher ones, so easy for them to drive the ball.
He tries to come back in. You could see from that side angle, Paul Qi, he pushed the ball long and then backed off straight away. He knew he'd given a chance for Rebetez to attack and just gave up the table. He tried to come back in on that last shot, but got to stay in on the first one.
Yeah. So difficult to see where that ball's going, but Paul Qi, when he serves long and he can play that first ball with his forehand, he's had great success moving it around.
And Qi scoops the ball up. Rebetez sends it long. It's 5-3 to Rebetez. He's going for some big shots there.
Both players are kind of members of the bomb squad right now, going for big shots.
That brings Qi to within 1 point, and it's going to force a timeout.
Yeah, sure.
60 seconds of conversation to leave your player empowered, educated, believing.
Yeah.
Remember to play to his body. Remember to play to his body. You don't need to go crazy for every shot. Use your brain to play. Okay, he didn't change anything now after 5-1. Yeah, it was just you trying to go too much to the corner again. The return to the short forehand after was very good, but then go to the body. Also after your serve. Prepare the point to go through the body. You don't need to kill with the first. And again, he still doesn't like when you serve also down spin. When it's close, you don't have to go always with the
Got it. Okay. Come on, man. Let's go. Come on. Fight.
Big encouragement from the bench. Rebetez needs this.
It's very similar to what we saw in game 1, where Rebetez came out very strong, playing very safe but offensive, and then all of a sudden, Paul made a surge. Taking game 1, and now Rebetez trying to win the last 2, going to the backhand serve, something we have not seen.
5-4.
Rebetez gives himself some space to maneuver. doubles coming up next between Kasahara, Amy Wong, and Omatayo and Fabiola Diaz. You see the great mix of countries we have here in MLTT: Japan, USA, Nigeria, Puerto Rico, all in one doubles match. Right now, Rebetez looking to try and finish off the job he started.
Wow. Little reverse pendulum serve by Paul Qi. Enough of a variation there. But Rebetez tried to get that loop going. And then a nice juicy serve by Rebetez. About twice the amount of spin of the ball that he missed.
What a retrieve from Paul, but again, you back him off the table, he just doesn't have the potency that he needs. Rebetez, if he can back Paul off the table, he should be able to win the point every time.
And now 6 game points that had to add to the Texas Smashes total.
That careless serve receive there. Rebetez needs to focus, he needs to get the job done.
I think every player on every team right now realizes once you get to 10, there's no chance to let up. Oh. That ball wasn't close. Those are almost like
dead.
Yeah, dead.
Slow the ball down.
Did he add something different rubber on the backhand side? Because there was no pace on that ball. Just took everything off of it. And now 2 serves, down 8-10 to fight to get to a golden point.
8-10.
He misses. Rebetez. He takes the 3rd game. 2 games to 1. Texas Smash 4-2. What an effort from Paul Qi. He had every chance to be in there and to take the advantage in the 3rd game. A spirited effort, especially the 1st game, I think, is just a phenomenal showing from him. But ultimately, Texas Smash's Swiss champion takes the end result. Joan, great job. A gritty match with some interesting ups and downs. We've seen Paul play before, obviously, and the 1st game for us was crazy. I mean, he came out playing much more offensively than he usually does. How did you go about adjusting after the 1st game to make sure that you had a little bit more breathing room in the 2nd and then in the 3rd?
Yeah. Okay, I just trying to stick to the tactic. Like, it was really to go to the middle. And, you know, sometimes you see like an open door on either side corner, but you feel a bit tensed and the ball goes the other way. So I had, you know, to stick to the plan, just playing simple in the middle.
You know, it seemed like we were able to listen in also during the break with Coach Jord, reminding you just to play with your brain, just to play your game and not go for so much. Do you think that made the difference?
Yeah, of course, of course. I mean, it's always tough. You know, there's a lot of distraction, clearly. So he could put me on the right track. Did it well. Thank you. I think that was like a team victory, not only me.
And you know, you had a really amazing performance in Portland. How do you feel about your progress throughout the Major League Table Tennis season? And do you think the game format being different in MLTT has helped parts of your game at all?
I think not really. I think I just, you know, trying to improve, but also expectations are going higher. So it's something I have to deal with, obviously, because it's getting crazy, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, I have to also steam off a little, and yeah.
Well, a great job to get 2 points for the team, and congratulations.
Thank
and we'll
you.
see you a little bit later on.
And 2 proud parents. But I think that's one thing we have seen with Joan is that he really calms himself down, whether he's down 0-2 or up 2-0, and he does a good job of forcing the opponent to deal with his service game.
Yeah.
Just very effective, and I think he, as we've talked about, Silva for the Blasters, a great team member, right? Rebetez doesn't add any negativity. He's only encouraging. He's out there fighting regardless of the score. And the one thing I would say, Matt, that you asked a very interesting question about the different format. I think it forces players to learn to focus. They have to be in the present. They can't be thinking about, well, I'm up 2-0, and it doesn't matter. They have to play every point like it means something because the games all count the same.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, prime example in that match. He loses the first game against a player that he has the capability to win 3-0 against. So, yeah, I mean, I think we've talked to other players like Marjin Bao this weekend about being used to playing best of 5 and having the chance to come back, playing best of 7. You come here and you play 3 games, and the standings of your team are totally based on the games that you win. It changes so much. Double bounce from Amy Wong to kick things off here. Jide certainly looking for the offensive. And he gets it the second time. And that is a powerful
and Fabi
shot.
going for the deeper serve. Amy did a nice job to take some pace off of it, but anything that comes anywhere near the end line. Oh, what a shot. Off the hand, then off the edge of the table, and get some smiles from teammate Fabi. Diaz, just not what you'd expect.
Oh. We've seen so many kind of displays of personality from Fabiola yesterday and today. Of course, we saw in the doubles when she missed the serve, the face palm, and then there was the double net between her and Belly.
That's just some good teamwork by the spinners. Both Fabi taking the balls off the bounce, and Matayo running them down from the backcourt. There's no question that Texas, with Amy Wong and Kazuhara, have the big shots. They have the ability to finish the point at any time. Fabi likes to mix it up, change the spin, use her pips on the backhand side effectively, and letting her teammate Matayo. Oh, look at that forehand smash by Amy Wong. Just obliterating the ball.
Now, these two teams have only met once before, recently in Portland. 3-0 win for Sahara and Amy Wong. Right now, Seattle Spinners looking to make their presence known in front of.
Just seems like every shot between these two teams is getting harder and harder in the power category. Almost like wanting to send a message, like so you can land a bigger blow.
Lots of drop shots in there. Jide didn't really have control over the last one, but Kasahara with an unforced error on the forehand. And Kasahara just playing heavy spin.
You know, Fabi Diaz is doing a nice job of just moving the ball around. You see her there, just reminding herself to stay calm, don't go for too much. Let her partner take the big shots. And that was, again, by Fabi Diaz, a nice control block that gave Omatayo a chance to take the big swing. And you can see the doubles teamwork really working well for the spinners.
Fabiola Diaz has played before this weekend 33 games of doubles. So 36 if you count yesterday. So 12 matches she's been in for the doubles. lot of the time playing alongside Olajide Omotaya. She's 16 and 17. Although after yesterday, that'd be 16 and 20. So just under 50%. But certainly these two have been a really great pairing for
Here
Seattle.
could be a deep serve. Not as deep.
I almost feel from this first game that Jide's just pushing the offensive a little
just
too much.
overdoing it.
Tayo almost ends up in the audience on this side there. Amy Wong with a smile. She gets that backhand smash to win the point. 11-8 for Kasahara and Amy Wong. Texas smash making some good grounds here early. 5-2. Seattle Spinners are going to need to up their game. Oh,
I mean, that's
very offensive start.
That's some third ball power by the smash.
Amy Wong, 2 off the serve. Start game 2.
What a serve.
Man.
That was a rocket ship. I saw Omotaya give the signal for serving it deep, but Diaz just turned it right over with her wrist at the last second.
She has...
Oh, and she had an opportunity there as well.
Such an incredible, long, fast backhand serve.
We need to get a speed gun on that one.
It's been more, maybe not as effective in doubles where you don't typically serve too much long, but in the Golden game, we've seen her win points outright off the serve. Amy Wong and Kasahara, as a team together, they just seem more balanced, a lot more consistent. I think one of the standout differences is Kasahara can take some comfort in knowing that if the attack comes to Amy, she can control well, but she can also counter really quickly.
Yeah, the redirect by Amy off the bounce, even from the mail shot coming at her.
My general feeling, looking at how this one's played out so far, is that Jide takes more of the pressure to attack on himself. I think he wants to win points outright more. Big opportunity, but he's starting to miss more of them.
Going for too much, and once you go for maximum power, you're going to have a lot of mistakes there. Ball boy had some issues with the barrier and then the banner.
Simple placement there from Amy. 8-4 in the lead here. Looking for a repeat of their first encounter. This time Jide slows down a little bit. Heavier spin causes some problems for Amy.
Getting in the backhand. Good location out to the wide forehand. Oh,
yeah.
An excellent play by Fabi Diaz, re-looping the ball over the table.
She almost kind of gave herself that look like, oh, that worked. Let's do that more.
Yeah, that offense can be effective. And she gets a nice, nice break going down the line, taking some spin off the ball. And Texas will be taking a timeout.
Timeout called for the cyberspace.
And Matt, I think the reason for that timeout is because we are so close to the playoffs that losing a game here or there.
It's okay. It's okay. No
I don't know if you guys have ever seen a guy on Instagram who takes Microsoft Teams meetings.
If you get the chance to
while he's
attack,
on his computer
go for
going
the
on
body.
water
Go for
slides
body.
with the green screen behind him, and he's like
Because usually she will just play long.
Your busy guy is the exact opposite of this. He doesn't
Everything
have
is
to be
okay, Amy. You're playing really good on her. It's absolutely fine.
Because that's
Your placement on Fabiola is good, don't worry.
He's at home on
Hero
the
will get the
couch.
chance to attack.
Maybe not even. He might be
Just
sitting on a
be ready when Hero's playing short. Be ready for his banana.
It's sad.
Yeah, you saw that he's trying his banana before it all the time. Or he's playing short. Then we have a chance.
Are enough that they show up.
Okay, guys, come on.
It's a big deal. Coaches in a good situation.
Now, it's worth mentioning that right now in Germany it's 5 a.m. So,
okay, we're going to talk about him more when there's some downtime, but I will tell you, your Bitsy
up
guy
at all
is
hours.
currently working with him in a cave.
7-8.
Amy Wong just misses that opportunity.
Just seemed like the ball was going too slow for their off the table, off the bounce timing. And Amy has such a textbook, picture-perfect forehand smash on those loose high balls. So much power.
And Kasahara controls that long, fast serve.
Just used the speed against the spinners. And now up 2-0.
Yeah, 11-8 in the second. Kasahara and Amy Wong looking for a repeat of their 3-0 win the last time these two teams encountered each other. The spinners, they're in it. They're just a little bit shy of the finish line. A couple of adjustments here or there could change things a lot for them. They need to get some points on the board. I mean, right now they're kind of in a similar position that the Bay Area were in their matchup this afternoon rather, where Texas are getting a really strong start here. And if you look at the lineup, there's a possibility, maybe.
Yeah, you could say experience-wise,
yeah,
the spinners in that last two singles matches.
I don't know if it's as strong a case as the Bay Area had, but Seattle, they need to pull something back now. I think it's not enough of a certainty. And right now they're 160 in fourth place. Texas smash. Keep moving up. They're 9 points shy of the Portland Paddlers.
Just putting a lot of pressure on the spinners. They don't want to be the odd man out in fourth position while everyone's fighting for the top two.
Coach Luba Sadovska on screen with Nikhil. Nikhil obviously a little bit under the weather, traveling in from Busan. flying in directly after the World Championships to be here in Seattle. Straight on the table yesterday to play against Tao and Zhang in a tough match. Fabiola starts with the serve. I think Amy was ready for a push to come back after a block.
I think she's also happy that Omotaia didn't get a chance to swing on that ball because he would have been putting some heat behind it.
She almost turned her shoulder away from the table. Jide with the big power. First 2 points go to the spinners. They've had more energy today than yesterday, but they need some points to try and give them that extra momentum. It's really hard to continue being energetic when the games are not going your way.
Two really strong backhands.
Yeah, a number of occasions where the serve receive's been really good, or the serve's been really good from Fabi in the last game, and Kasahara has just been ready and waiting.
And that's where the firepower for both players from the smash, whether it's Kasahara or Wong, both can finish the point on anything loose. That's a nice inside out loop by Amy.
And
Fabi.
You could see them both getting pushed off that left corner of the table. Amy didn't know what to do when the ball came back in. Typically, you'd see that kind of play more against the left and right-handed combination, but Fabiola gets the job done. The Texas crowd getting behind their team. Seattle crowd. Did I just say Texas? In the wrong place. Had a great turnout here tonight, not just from Everett and Seattle, but also people coming in from Portland, from Vancouver in Canada. Got some guys out here from Salt Lake in Utah. Singles number 3 up in the left corner. The American youth players, Daryl Sau, Andrew Sau. Gonna be an interesting one. Certainly great to see the young, rising talent players in the US competing here in Major League Table Tennis. And a serve error there. Receive error, rather. That was a serve error. Now it's 6-5 to Texas. They're regaining control of the match again. Big risk on the serve receive from Omotaia. Good energy coming from the sideline.
Amy goes for a very aggressive backhand flip. A nice combo by Seattle. Aggressive serving. Fabi able to get her forehand in. Right down the center court. Both teams using a lot of deep serves here in the doubles.
Both of the men's players have kind of backed off the table quite a lot and tried to counter from back there.
Oh, and Amy Wong going for the super deep serve, catches the net.
Sends the ball long. 9-8. Kasahara and Wong. serve of Fabiola Diaz gets the point.
You can see the look
her
of
scratch in the back of his head.
of surprise and confusion. Kazahara. But he gets the point back on his serve.
Amy Wong misses. We're going to have a golden point here. Big opportunity for Seattle in front of their home crowd. And they get it, to the delight of the audience. Look at that smile on Chide's face. They didn't win the majority of the games, but it meant so much for them to clutch that third. Look at that backhand to finish, and Fabiola so far off the table. If that had come back, they would have been in big trouble. But it didn't.
A 1-2 combo by the spinners.
Chide just pointing up. One game, that's all we need. One game, 1 point. Big smiles on the bench. 11-10 to decide the third game. Well, we're going to head down and have a chat with Amy Wong after that match. Kasahara back on the bench. Amy, great effort to get 2 points there for the team. Obviously, you guys started out really well in the first and second game. In the third game, it was close, but things changed a little bit. Did you feel that the third game was more difficult for you guys?
I think in the third game, they became more aggressive, and we did have some unforced errors that I feel like should not have been should not have happened. But I think me and Hiro played well. We communicated well. Yeah.
How difficult is it, Amy, when you're going back to the bench to have the coach coming in on FaceTime? Is it something that now the team seems a little bit more comfortable with, or are you still getting used to it?
Yeah, it's a bit weird. But I think Coach York did his best despite his situation. And I'm really glad that although he's not here in person, he's still with us virtually. And yeah, I think going into every match we're at a disadvantage, but we try our best and yeah, we work as a team.
One of the things I wanted to ask you is, obviously, we've known each other for quite a while now from Lily Yip's club, and most of the time when I've seen you playing in tournaments, you've maintained not too much. You don't show too much out there. But I feel like during MLTT, we've seen a few more smiles cracked, and you seem more relaxed out there. Do you feel more relaxed? Are you enjoying MLTT more?
Yes, especially doubles. I think I feel more relaxed because I trust whoever I'm playing mixed doubles with, whether it's Hiro or whether it's David. But yeah, I'm just there to have fun.
Well, glad you're having fun out there, Amy, and you're getting the results while you're at it. Well done, and we'll see you back in the Golden Game. So we'll start this American youth battle here on center court.
I think more importantly, Matt, is that we have two players that are on each of our respective fantasy teams. So I'm really needing some points from Andrew to help
put it this way.
Keep my dream alive.
If Andrew wins and things go quiet from Sean in the commentary booth, it might be because he fell off the off the edge of the booth. Obviously, if you look at standings and you look at records, during the MLTT season. Big contrast. Andrew Sal, 18-9 in
that's
singles.
amazing. And that's why he cost the amount he did, which I was willing to pay for in the Fantasy League. I think you got to bargain with Daryl. The energy that Andrew is bringing to the spinners is, I think, what they've been missing so far up here in Everett. Both these players have tremendous forehand attacks.
Daryl is 9-21 in singles, so 30%. He got his first singles win in Portland. You know what? I think he's a young player and he has something to prove.
Well, clearly the benefit of Major League Table Tennis is aimed at players like Daryl and Andrew to get that experience in a pressure-packed situation, center court against international players where they can continue to train at home, work on their game, and then also have the opportunity to work with international coaches. You can't say enough about that, where the coaches can come in and give them tips on their training, do the video analysis after the matches, help them just raise their level and potentially become full-time pro players.
Well, now Daryl has video analysis during the match, which is less common.
Oh, look at that.
What a shot.
Inside-out forehand by Daryl Sal.
Daryl's snapping off some amazing forehand counters so far this first game.
In the past, we'd see him back up a little bit that time. Not only did he step around his backhand, but he drove it. Once again. Looks like...
I told you, Sean, he's got something to prove.
Yeah, it's almost like Isak Villa, but 10 feet closer as he turns that backhand and drives through the ball.
You know, I will say one thing for Daryl. I feel like as a young player, you come into MLTT and you wouldn't expect anything. You know, you expect them to take the experience and to try and grow from it. But I feel like there have been occasions, especially during the cross division, where he really put so much expectation on himself during his singles and during the Golden Games, and we saw him on a couple of occasions take it really hard when he wasn't able to win. So I think emotional maturity from him is starting to get to where it needs to be.
That's the beauty when you have the tenacious fight, that it will pay off. There's no way that if you just keep going forward, no matter how many roadblocks get put in your way, that eventually you'll find your way around them. And right now he is playing outstanding here. Just seems like his table game is more forceful. He's not hesitating to just get a loop on the table, but he's got a more penetrating shot. And
wow.
Look at that, just...
I mean, he looks quicker than Sonura Silva out there in game one. That's a big play from Daryl Sal. He's playing forward, he's playing aggressive and quick. 11-4, the first game in the Texas Smash. Again, just continuing to put points on the board. Listening in to the iPad. Of course, he had the headphones in yesterday when he was in command of the bench. What an outstanding start. Those forehand counters.
He made 3 complete.
They're on par with Ma Jinbao. I mean, Tao Wenjiang, Ma Jinbao, the A players in the league. Solid, solid counters. That half-long serve just absolutely punished.
usually those get kind of a fun chuckle out of me because you're taking such a big shot, and he landed all of them.
Takes a smash into the 170s now. 8 points behind the Portland Paddlers.
Wow, there he is.
There's one more round of West Division matches in Kansas after this weekend. The players are making their moves towards those top 2 playoff positions. Andrew Sau starts with the serve.
So Andrew, I'm sure, realizes he can't just play consistent, controlled. He's going to have to take some risks, land his forehand, but right now, Daryl Sau looks so, again, he's able to play that inside out, cross his body, especially on the low balls as Andrew makes the controlled opening. Daryl just keeping the pressure on here in game 2. Look at that.
Great, I mean, it's another Paul Chi moment.
Yeah, it's that no hesitation to turn the shoulders and drive through the ball. Thought of finishing the point versus extending the rally.
And no looks back from Daryl Sau. 4 points in a row to start game 2.
And it's not just opening up when the ball comes off the table, but putting a lot of pressure behind it. And Andrew Sau finally gets on the board here in game 2.
See Luba Sadovska there stand up after the point and tap her elbow. She wants Andrew to go down either the center of the table or cut angles into the body of Daryl. Try and take away that counter ability from him.
And that's a strong opening if Daryl can make that ball. He's not hesitating, he's not playing safe. Nice play by Andrew, just to jump on that softer opening with his backhand out to the forehand.
Sau levels things up, starting to get some more attacking shots.
Yeah, and you can,
forehand.
Exactly. He's forcing his forehand into play versus catching the balls that Daryl has been sending one way. Both their backhands very wristy, very spinny, trying to set up the forehand. But so far this match, Daryl's forehand has been the difference. Oh, nice backhand over the table by Andrew Sau.
Starting to see some fight back from him. Daryl needs to make sure if he's going to drop the ball that it stays short. Andrew, when he gets confident, picks up the half-long ball really well.
I think that in the backhand-to-backhand exchange, normally Andrew has a little bit more speed, a little bit more spin on his ball. But Daryl's been forcing his forehand in, hasn't seen that small differential on the backhand-to-backhand side.
Daryl this time keeps the ball tight. Solid first opening on the backhand. Gets a really great snap through his shots. That forehand again. I think if Andrew plays any kind of loose ball into the forehand 2/3, he's going to be in a really tough position.
Just seems like Daryl has a, I'm not going to say new and improved forehand, but he's much more sure of himself. Look at that once again. inside out. Andrews had to deal with that ball now. Into his body, wide to his backhand. Credit Daryl Sow with some very strong offensive play.
Line 8-6.
Oh, that was a great forehand turn by Andrew Sow. A lot of power.
These two played back in November in Pleasanton. 2-1 for Andrew Sow. Also Andrew Sow, currently under 17 national champion in the US.
What an over-the-table flip kill by Daryl Sow. Just no hesitation. Got in close to the ball, snapped right through it.
Head-to-head in domestic tournaments here in the US, 10-4 for Daryl.
Just go with what you're comfortable with, okay? What you are ready for. If you are doing something that you're not comfortable with, the point will not be what you want. You're not ready for it, okay? Don't use only too much power. When you are using too much power, you are rushing and your timing is off. Okay? Sometimes spin, heavier spin, okay? Yeah. And then again, better placement. Even the forehand push, it's just too high. He attacks it right away. Go to the middle or go even the impossible corner. You're doing good. It's your serve. Pick good serve, okay? What you are comfortable with.
Answering your question will be more impressive than any number, whether you use kilometers or miles per hour. Nolan Ryan's fastball, the time it leaves his hand to the time the catcher catches it, players can play a rally with 3 shots in the same amount of time.
Come on.
Put that in your think tank for a minute. All right, think you're good? Here we go. That's the slogan right away from LTT. That wasn't directed at you. Here we go. 2 points between them.
Back out of the timeout. Andrew Sow has the serve. Coach Luber giving some advice there. Quite right. Can't afford to pop the ball up anywhere near Daryl's forehand. The placement so important. Just got to play heavier rotation into the elbow or out to the corners. Just got to move the ball around.
That was a very smart move by Daryl. Off the backhand serve to run over and play it down the line. Just jam it into the backhand corner.
It's just full of confidence today.
It seems like a different player than what we've seen in the past.
And he takes game 2. 11-8. Daryl Sow out here dictating the show. Strong forehands. Very decisive. No hesitation in any of his shots throughout this match so far. Andrew Sow, he just hasn't been able to adapt.
Look at that forehand. by Daryl Sal. Has he missed one of them yet? I mean, it just seems like every ball that's coming off the end of the table, he's just punishing.
There's Andrew with the steady opening into the middle of the table.
I mean, just little Paul Qi over the table.
Gets that push deep.
And that was a good shot by Daryl. He went for the right shot, just caught it a little late.
You know, I think Andrew's so comfortable playing the counter game. He's got such a strong forehand. Daryl's continued to try and play short a lot of the time. If he's not getting the chance to open up, he's just redropping the ball. His short game's been fantastic. Andrew shouldn't try and play that game with him. If he gets the chance to get in here and dig the ball long and get a soft opening, that's exactly what he would want. So I think Andrew's got to move away from always trying to play short with Daryl. He's got to push the ball long, and he's got to push it with good placement and some intent, and then just get ready to get on that counter on the forehand. Perfect example there. I mean, when Andrew gets on his forehand, he gets one big counter in. He's got a pretty good chance of winning the point. That's another good opportunity. I mean, ball comes short, get in, flip it. As long as he doesn't try and play too much short. So the last singles match coming up, Nanda Naresh, Johan Hagberg. Right now, Daryl's still in control of this game.
Nice depth on that serve. Let's see if Andrew's able to at least take one game out of this match, but it has been all Daryl Sal so far.
Missed opportunity there. That was a ball that he should have attacked.
Cannot push back that serve return. If you're going to push it, at least push it wide to the backhand. Don't push it off the end of the table.
Andrew gets him with a flick. I feel like he's playing too much to the racket of Daryl. He's struggled with Daryl's backhand counter speed. Get in a flip. Daryl's playing it back with twice as much pace.
It reminds me a little bit of his teammate who we're missing here, David Macbeth. When you play to his backhand over the table, you better get your feet out because that ball's coming back with lightning speed and deep. Wow, this has been a clinic by Daryl Sal on how to get your offense going.
And that gets it done. 3-0 sweep for Daryl Sal. Looks like you'll be staying in the booth, Sean.
What a performance by Daryl Sal.
I mean, you look back on that match, could he put a toe wrong in that match? Every execution was on point. Every placement, tactics were on point. Shot making on the forehand was unreal.
I mean, maybe 3 or 4 total mistakes the whole match. But other than that,
Hello, Daryl.
How are you?
I'm great. I'm still trying to figure out and unwrap what happened in that match. Obviously, we've seen you play a lot of matches in MLTT. Been some ups, been some downs. I would say that's probably your best performance so far. I'm sure you would agree with me.
Yeah.
How did you go about getting in the right mindset to go into that match? Obviously, you played Andrew before a number of times, but you really just didn't look like you could put a foot wrong in that match. So,
I just did a lot of video studies before actually this match, so I had a really clear plan in my head. So that's why I'm able to, I would say, execute what I wanted to do this match, which led me to play well this match.
you know, the execution was just phenomenal. And often we talk about, especially with young players, a breakout opportunity or a breakout match. Seeing you play that well, I'm sure that you're thinking about the Olympic tryouts coming up. This has to give you a ton of confidence that if you play at this level, you can beat anyone in the U.S.
Yeah, that's kind of what I feel right now. I think that definitely give me a confidence boost right now.
And obviously in Portland, you also played quite well. You had at least one match that you won. It's your first win so far in MLTT. How do you feel about your performance in the league and how it's kind of developed? Because I feel like obviously now after that, things are starting to move upwards.
Yeah, so at first I had a pretty rough start to MLTT, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't until Portland that I won my first match, and I've been really just looking forward to this moment for a long time. And I was just searching for this breakout win in this MLTT, and I think this may be it for me.
Do you feel like now you've kind of matured a little bit to the point where you're putting less pressure on yourself? Because I felt early on with the MLTT matches that you were trying to shoulder so much for the team, and you kind of really felt every loss and every golden game point lost.
Oh yeah, that's definitely true. So this is definitely a mindset change for me.
Well, congratulations. We'll see you back in the golden game, but for now, between now and then, you just enjoy this little moment that you've earned.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Great job.
So we head back down to the table with Texas 9-3 in the lead. Nandan Naresh with the opportunity to shut the Seattle Spinners out.
This is going to be so interesting with the shot making of Johan Hagberg, just going for big shots, while at the same time Nandan Naresh, member of Team USA, he can play some big shots. Seen him also change the spin a lot lately. A player from Denmark, Anders Lind, who has done a lot of side spin swipes and misdirections. We've even seen Cole throw in some, I'm not even going to say an underspin loop, but kind of a hooking loop that has crazy side spin on it.
Very Ho Ying Chow-esque.
Exactly. For those of you who's followed international play, especially with the Chinese team defender who somehow manages to bring balls back. But you can just see these two players, there's going to be a lot of going for it. Not so much safe play. Both these players love to play big.
Speaking of playing big, big forehand there from Hagberg. Keeping things tied up here. One thing I'm pretty impressed with is the energy level coming from Nandan Naresh. You look at the contrast between him and Nikhil, especially. And Nikhil's feeling pretty under the weather, but in terms of handling the jet lag and bringing energy to the table.
You know, Matt, I think it's really due to what the teammates are doing. I mean, from the very first match with Kazuhara and then Rebetez doing the job, and then also the doubles getting the job done, and then what a match with Daryl Sal. I mean, that's just like, really? I mean, let's see, one bad shot the whole match. Missed a couple points, but they weren't any bad shots, and now Nandan can ride that wave.
Hagberg takes the lead again.
Oh, that was a quality loop by Hagberg. Often he's just going for kind of the chop, the slice, to take the pace off of it. But that time he got a quality spin on the ball. Very aggressive on his serve.
You put these two players up against each other in a match, and serve-receive, without any shadow of a doubt, becomes the pivotal importance from both of these guys. Hagberg just keeps the ball in the backhand of Naresh.
And if Hagberg is able to sweep, it would only be a 3-point lead for Texas. But they would love to start out with a 5-point minimum.
Yeah, I mean, he only needs one game, Naresh, to make sure they have that 5-point lead. Wow. That's through the keyhole, that forehand. Hagberg seems to have recognized that there's a slight hole in the defense of Naresh down that backhand line, but...
And the entire Texas bench stood up on that last one.
There's the serve of Nandan Naresh. Playing a big role in this match.
So it will be a 5-point lead as Nandan takes game number 1 in this final singles match.
I'm sure Jay Hagberg will be a little disappointed with how that game ended. 2 serves from Naresh, 1 outright to give him that 11-9. Big smile on the face of Joan Rebetez there. Nandan Naresh, 39th in the Major League Table Tennis standings. Can't really say enough about the development of Nandan domestically here in the US over the past 3 years. I mean, you look at him going into the top levels of not just the youth, but the men's, putting himself in position where he's beating players like Zhang Kai, Jishan, you know, these players that have moved from China and have such a strong table tennis foundation.
And of course, it's not easy playing an older brother as well, who's had Sid, older brothers, who's had such great success among the team trials and representing Team USA in Pan Am Championships. So,
yeah, I mean, so it's a huge credit to them, not just them, but their family. Parents obviously have been amazing supporters of them. I wouldn't be surprised if they're both watching, so
I'm sure they're watching.
Yeah, shout out to them if they are watching. It's been incredible to watch their journey together and for them to break into the top levels of men's table tennis here in the US. And obviously, both of them just played in Busan at the World Championships. So.
Wow. Nandan really picking his shots well here. Game 2, mixing it up on the serve return, serve receive. And Johan just really having a tough time.
I felt like he played so well during the cross division, but if we look back at Portland, and then obviously yesterday as well, just not, the fire's not quite there.
I wonder, Matt, if it's the players getting more comfortable with his explosive style of play and figuring out a way of getting into the rallies a little bit better and not giving him as many swings, because he definitely likes to go for winners.
I feel like they're still giving him the opportunities, but just a lot of frustration from him at missing those opportunities. Timeout. It's 6-2 in game 2.
Stay in the game, okay? Don't get upset. When you get upset, you're going to lose even more
Get back on
points.
track, find their rhythm. How you guys
Stay
doing?
engaged.
Doing good?
Don't rush.
That was the answer I
When
was
you
looking
serve,
for. How about you?
have to set up your strategy with your serve.
Nice.
And then you have to
2 for 2.
expect it.
And you?
Expect the ball back. Okay? You may not place it where you expect it, but you have to be ready for it.
Brothers, hey, you guys are doing great, positive. I like it. Excellent.
You're good. You're good. I just wanted to break the.
That's strong. So you guys are all watching table tennis. How many times have you seen professional table tennis before? 5, 10, 15, 1. This is your first? How many? 0. Wow, before today. Now we're going to have 1, 2. Okay, that counts.
Naresh in the background there, coming back to the table.
Looking good in your Major League Table Tennis shirts. Back for the action. Jay Hogberg.
No timeouts left for either team. They will both have 1 each in the golden game.
Just look for Mandan to take some swings with a 4-point lead. He can afford to go for a little bit more. Serving from his forehand side, mixing it up.
Hagberg going for the big shot again, but I think we saw yesterday the difficulty for him has been how do you bring your game back from playing those big shots when they're not going on? And so we saw him kind of go back too far in the opposite direction to being kind of softer. Thank you to Snohomish County Sports Commission and the City of Everett. We're in a fantastic venue here and a really nice city. Right next to the sea, lots of local restaurants. We've had a great crowd out here in support of Seattle tonight and in support of Major League Table Tennis, and a lot of that has been in part to the marketing support from both of them.
And of course, we've got more matches tomorrow, so definitely come out and support the home team of Seattle Spinners. There's so much on the line going into these playoffs. Second to the last match of this Western Conference, and every point matters.
And you can get tickets at the door, so if you're wondering about how easy or difficult it is, just show up and get your tickets at the door. Second game, 11-6 goes to Nandan Naresh. He looks pretty in control. Hagberg still just kind of a little bit of a shadow of the player that we've seen earlier in the MLTT season. Some opportunities created. I think when you talk about whether players have adapted to him, I think the serve. We saw him serve a lot of high toss variations with the tomahawk, with the high toss pendulum, and a lot of players kind of popped them up or they were a little unsure of how to receive well. Maybe that's a factor here, that the players that he's coming up against are handling the serve receive better. Obviously right now he's in the AB position, so he's coming up against players who are probably going to handle serve receive a little better. Nandan Naresh obviously has done that quite well so far. Look at the standings. Texas smash within 4 points of the Portland Paddlers.
With 6 points available, plus this final game, so they could go up by 3.
There's the high toss tomahawk. Seattle audience has really continued to pour energy into their team, regardless of whether it looks like it might be a 2-1 or a 3-0 sweep, or if the player's down in a game. They've given all their energy to their team players here in Everett, Washington.
Just the energy level with Johan, just nothing there at the moment.
There's that shot down the line. Catches Naresh moving across the push in the middle of the table. It's the second time he's seen that opening there and stepped around. And there's a solid opening against the serve. Players switch ends, and it's Hagberg, 5-2 in the lead here in the third game. Take a look at this upcoming schedule for the remainder of this first season of Major League Table Tennis. Of course, we're here in Everett, Washington. We head back to the last installment of the East Division in Lawrenceville, New Jersey, mid-March. Finale for the West Division in Wichita, Kansas, beginning of April. And then the top two teams from the East and West Divisions will face off in Chicago at the end of April.
With over $100,000 on the line in the finals. So each one of these teams doing everything they can to book their ticket for Chicago.
Hagberg backed off the table, trying to put some hook on that log.
Didn't miss by much. It was just a couple inches.
Almost looked like he thought the ball was going to break a bit wider and go for the round the net shot. Nandan smiled at that one.
So we're even up here in game 3.
Going for the counter, Johan Hagberg, 8-6 in the lead. He has a chance to at least pick up another point for Seattle. They can't come out of this match with more points than the Texas Smash. Gets the job done.
Such great patience by the youngster. Hagberg just returning so many. Look at that side spin backhand chop. Then he chops it out the opposite direction, little snake action. And then now Nandan ties it up at 8 apiece here in game 3.
He kind of motioned back to Labaka on the bench. He needed to go in for the flick.
All the members of Texas are warming up for the Golden Game. Everyone for the spinners are still on the bench, lending their support to Hagberg to try to take this 1 point.
There's the Texas team on the practice tables. And Hagberg, he steals away the third game. 11 points to 8. Seattle Spinners go into the Golden Game 4 points to 11. They're going to be 5 points behind. If they can win the Golden Game, they can at least almost even out on points with Texas. But regardless of what happens, Texas are going to come out with the majority of the points, already being on 11. So we'll quickly take a look back at this match before we head into the Golden Game. Started out with a very intense contest between Kasahara and Omatayo. Not without its dramas, but brought out the best in both players. 2-1 for Kasahara. Rebetez, he fell into the trap of the Paul Qi that we'd been waiting to see. Very aggressive in the first game. Rebetez winning the next 2. The doubles, first 2 for Kasahara and Amy Wong. Omatayo and Fabiola Diaz dug deep to get the third. Daryl Sao, performer of the night, I think, so far. 3-0 sweep over Andrew Sao in a flawless performance. And then, as you just saw, Nanda Naresh, he got the first 2 games, but Jay Hagberg, he found a way back. And the Seattle Spinners, they were able to pick up some points in the match. And honestly, if you look across the scoreboard, there are a couple of matches there, the doubles and the last singles match, where they could have easily got swept 3-0, but they dug their heels in today.
Thank you, Adam. The score is 11-4. Texas Smash are leading the Seattle Spinners. Texas, you'll be starting with a 5-point lead. Seattle, since you're behind, you'll be making the first pick of players. Andrew Sao is your first pick. Coach?
We go with Daryl Sao.
Daryl Sao is your first pick, and you're number 2.
Yes. My number 2 is Kasahara.
Hiromitsu Kasahara is your number 2.
Olajide.
Olajide Omatayo is your number 2, and your 3.
Paul Qi.
Paul Qi is your 3.
Then I go with Nanda Naresh.
Nanda Naresh is your number 3, and your 4?
Rebetez.
Joan Rebetez is your 4.
Johan Hagberg.
Johan Hagberg is your 4, making Fabiola Diaz your 5, making Amy Wong your 5. Good luck, coaches.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Oh, fist bump.
Well, the order is set for the golden game. Daryl Sao and Andrew Sao, they're back out here to start things off. They play 3 points, after which players will switch every 4. Kasahara takes on Omatayo again. We see Nanda Naresh coming up against Paul Qi. Rebetez ends up with Hagberg, and then Amy Wong and Fabiola. I'm sure there might be some nerves on Amy's part going into that matchup. Obviously, Fabiola having won the ultimate golden point
of a golden game.
Yeah, back in Pleasanton, 21-20, the golden game, which gave the Seattle Spinners a 15-6 win. Andrew Sao, he starts off with a long backhand serve. I think we see more long serves in the golden game. Just a sign, as you've said, of that aggression to try and get in quick.
The player plays too safe. These long serves are so effective. Golden games have been streaky just because of a player's ability to sweep, taking 4 points in this best 21-point game.
It's a deeper push from Andrew Sao.
2 out of the 3.
I think this was a good adaptation from him. We needed to see more of it from him in the singles, of just trusting the deep push. Look at that angle. I mean, even if Daryl got the ball back in, Andrew had the whole table to play into.
with the serves 2, serving 6.
Within a sweep. So if Omatayo can get his game going.
Wins the first.
Gets the first. Fast feet coverage all around. 3, serving
1
6.
point right here brings it within 2. What a backhand down the line by Omatayo.
From 6-0 to 6-4, Hito with the serve.
Over the table.
6 serving 4.
Within 2. Kasahara with the serve.
Tight serve, the pendulum, and it's 1 for Hiromitsu. Second serve at 7-4.
Oh, missed opportunity from Omatayo. He could have closed it to within 2.
going for the big smash.
4 points between them once again. It's
See Kasahara put just enough topspin to make that a difficult bounce.
with the serves at
Paul Chi
4-8.
with the serve. He's coming up against
And we
Nandan
are,
Naresh.
again, we're within a sweep comeback opportunity for Seattle. And Nandan.
It's a tough ask. Tough ask
just
with this
quality,
matchup.
quality backhand over the table.
Serving 9.
Nandan better take his left hand off the table.
As quick and flexible as can be, Nandan Naresh extending the lead to 10, serving 4. As quick
Wow.
And miss. Nandan Naresh looking to get the sweep himself.
Yeah, the sweep in the opposite direction to create huge margins. And he does
gets it.
all 4, which puts big pressure on Jay Hogberg.
entering the arena, Joan Rebetez on receive.
Takes a look
Johan
up to
Hogberg
see
serve.
where the lights are. He knows high toss is coming.
Serve.
Leto.
Aggressive serve out to the forehand. Both these players have tremendous serves.
Seattle Spinners, 5 serving 12.
Great fade and misdirection there from Rebetez.
Waiting for it to place it wide out to the lefty forehand.
Ooh, a service gift for the home team.
Not the time to miss your own serve.
The kicking serve, and Jay Hogberg runs it down. From where I was standing, that serve looked nasty, super nasty. But to Jay Hogberg, it looked like an appetizer. So 6 points between them as Amy Wong enters the arena with Fabiola Diaz to serve, 7 serving 13. Amy Wong finds the wide corner for the point.
Smart location.
7-14.
Amy stepping over, using her backhand, but to play cross court out to the forehand side. And there's the quick deep serve by Fabi Diaz. Amy ready for it.
Tried to go for a chop block to try and switch the momentum.
Yeah, to slow down that pace that very few other than Amy is comfortable playing.
A tight serve, Amy Wong, second serve to come.
Look for Amy also to have her own deep serves.
A golden sweep from Amy Wong as well.
Plenty of sweeps. It's a clean looking floor over there on Texas's side of the table. Daryl and Andrew come back out here to play 4 points.
Daryl
Clean
with
sweep
it,
here
would
with
finish it off.
gets the first. I mean, he's been on fire tonight.
Fast and strong throughout. 7 serving 18. Andrew Tsao with the second serve.
Oh, almost.
Great placement. Looked like Daryl changed his mind 2 or 3 times of how he wanted to deal with that ball deep into the elbow. Oh, that was a nice deep push there by Daryl. A push with a purpose into the body. And
oh, clean winner there from Andrew South. No, neither team have used their timeout here in this.
I don't think we're going to see either team do it unless the team gets to 20 and then there's a 6-point run.
Kasahara has a chance.
Serving 19. Long serve for an outright
Entire keeping hopes alive. The Seattle Spinners. Kasahara, he has golden game point. And thumps a forehand. Both hands in the air. Texas Smash win the golden game, 21 points to 11. A phenomenal performance from the Texas Smash. They go in 11-4 into the golden game, adding 6 points by winning the golden game, 17-4 the end score. The standings just keep getting shook up more and more.
We'll have our matches earlier in the day with the
It's going to be a pretty big and important win for the Texas Smash
and then
when it comes to playoff hopes.
Seattle Spinners at 2 p.m. Thank you for coming out. Don't forget to stop by the merch booth and get anything you need. Thank you so much. The players appreciate your support and look forward to having as many of you back tomorrow as possible. Don't forget.
We're going to have a chat with Nandan Naresh. Not able to have a chat with Coach Jorg as we'd planned, but Nandan, a great effort from the team as a whole. Obviously, you came out here and you played a good singles match, played great in the golden game. The one thing that I'm first interested to know about is obviously you've flown from Busan straight after the World Championships to be here. If we compare you and Nikhil, who came back on the same flight, you seem to be doing pretty well. What's been important for you since you got back to make sure that you have energy? I mean, yeah, I know I saw you sneaking a little meal before you had your match yesterday. Is that the secret?
Yeah, and also I slept 14 hours total today. I slept from like 10 to like 9:30 in the morning. Then I took a nap in between the practice and then the match. So, yeah,
well rested.
Yeah, it brought me back.
You know, Nandan, it seems like your team from day one has had great energy, really worked well, showing a lot of help and support to the teammates. Talk to me a little bit about what MLTT has done to help you also grow as a player and use this team concept.
I mean, I love playing as a team, and the energy that we bring, like, we're all very good friends. And yeah, even I guess in Busan when it was another team event, like I felt like it was kind of like MLTT, like the energy, and everyone plays MLTT in our team basically. And yeah, it was a great experience.
I think the first thing that I noticed when you bring up Busan is when you won against England, you were the first person to jump over the barriers and run out to Nikhil.
Yeah, it was
so
a habit from
immediately
this,
thought
yeah.
Nandan's in MLTT mode right now. Obviously, aside from MLTT, we kind of talked a little bit during your match about how you've progressed over the last 3 years. Obviously, being a very talented youth player to being a player that's approached things with a lot more discipline, a lot more work ethic, and you're in a position now where you're almost potentially able to beat any men's player in the country. You're in the men's national team. What happens between here and Olympic trials for you, knowing, of course, that Kanak will be back? How do you prepare yourself for what are going to be really tough matches, but also knowing that you have a really good chance, if you play well, to get in position to potentially get one of those spots?
I think I just keep going as I have been, and yeah, hopefully the results will come, but I'll just focus on what I do with my training, and yeah, I'll just continue.
Well, congratulations on a great team performance tonight, and we look forward to seeing you guys and yourself back tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'll go away and mull over the points that you played and see if I think any of them are worthy of my commentator's pick yet.
I think I had some.
Congratulations, and have another good rest tonight, Nandan.
Thank you.
So we take a look at the standings. Obviously, a big point differential here, 17-4 for the Texas Smash. It's not quite enough to get them into the first position. Bay Area Blasters still on 181. But it does put them into second position over the Portland Paddlers. Seattle slipping behind a little bit. more energy from them than we saw yesterday, so definite improvement there. The results just not quite following, though, yet. We'll see how they deal with things tomorrow. Obviously, we still have a couple of matches left Sunday morning.
Well, we're going to have the Blasters against the Smash, which is definitely going to give some team at least a 2-point margin, and then Paddlers for the Battle of Northwest, getting a chance to maybe get back into the top 2 position.
Yeah, I think given the fact that the Paddlers have won against Texas and they've won against the Bay Area, obviously the bigger margins have been against the Seattle Spinners so far this weekend. So there's an opportunity there for Portland. If they can come out here and produce a strong result, the likelihood of them taking the top position at the end of the weekend is pretty high. Stunning performance from the Texas Smash. Big shout out to Jörg Bitzigayo. It's probably 6 o'clock in the morning now in Germany. He's been up all hours of the night coaching and guiding the team. A great performance from me and from Sean. Thank you for joining us. And a big shout out and a thank you, of course, to Snohomish County Sports Commission, to the city of Everett, and to all the Everett and Seattle fans that have come out here tonight. We'll see you again tomorrow.